up, YouTube? How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? To all my ladies truck drivers out there, holla, holla, holla. Woo, more respect to you. Women taking over the trucking industry. They're taking over big time. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. To all my gentlemen out there, holla, holla at you too. You know, no disrespect to the gentlemen. But you gotta give it to the women out here willing to come out here and do this job. But so the bill cost me $547.17, which is no big deal. It just made me a day short and a day later, $1 short. Man, I can't even get that right. Day later, $1 short. Literally, if something wants to happen with all the tires, they go flat on the truck, I know I'm about literally $1 short of being able to replace those tires. So that wasn't a big hit to my maintenance account. It'll take me about maybe a week or two to get that money back. And my paycheck this week was $1,106. It was not the best paycheck I made. It was just a combination of fuel prices and a combination of the loads. I had my dispatcher pick me out of loads out of Michigan, and he did not get the best paying load. He got a bull crap load. That I really didn't make much on, honestly. But it is what it is. Not every week's gonna be. You're gonna have your bad weeks and those your good weeks. Since I already touched on that, what we are going to touch on today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to touch on whether the difference between the 1099 and a W-2, and we're going to get a little bit of breakdown of my week so far and what I got going this week. So, starting off with my week so far, like I brought a load down here that I picked up in Archibald, Ohio. I picked that up Thursday. I want to say Thursday. I picked it up Thursday. I want to say Thursday. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. Actually, I think it was Wednesday. I'm having brain fart here, y'all. Brain fart. It's one of those 2 days. Picked it up. Went home with it. I left out Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. Got down to the Petro in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a really piece of shit. A piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. Piece of shit truck stop. I had to pay to park there. So I got there at 12:30, and that truck stop was packed. There was literally no place to park. So I had to create my own spot. I'm like, look, I gotta pay to park here. I'm gonna just create my own spot. And so I parked next to the shop, along the island next to the shop, and I got asked to move. So it was like 12:30 in the afternoon. I was like, okay, I don't care. I'll move the truck. So I moved the truck, created another spot somewhere else. Okay, I cleaned the truck, straightened it up and everything, and this security guard, I'm relaxing and for the evening, and this security comes and tells me to move my truck. He bangs on my door like he the police or something. He bangs on my door like the police. I go into the door, and he's getting all nasty with me. Like, you need to move your truck. People can't fuel up because you guys are parked here blocking the fuel line. I'm like, okay, so first of all, you need to be coming at me like sideways like that. If you act nicely, I probably would have just moved the truck. And so I said to him, I said, well, where do you want me to go? There's nowhere to go. I don't care, but you can't stay here. You're blocking up the fuel island. I looked over at the fuel island. There's plenty of room that a truck could be able to swing in there and get in there without a problem. And he goes, I told him that. I said, there's plenty of fuel islands. They can get in there. Well, you're blocking. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the ones to the farther left. You guys are blocking it, and they can't swing in. I said, okay, or whatever. I went back to my sleeper, went back to watching my show, and I stayed there. I stayed there for a little bit. And I did wind up moving my truck a little bit later. I was really going to be really ugly to that guy. I really was going to be more ugly than I was. I really was. But I'm trying to be a better person. So I didn't get all ugly with him. I could have got nastier, but I didn't. I had to hold Mr. Hyde back. And some guy just about got hit because he wants to be an idiot. Anyway.
Hey, driver.
Give me a second. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, he insists on walking. Dude's an idiot. But anyway, so I really could have been asked to the guy. I really did. And I wasn't nasty. But I wound up moving the truck because there was people parking to the right of me. And there was like a revolving door right there. People would park there and then they would leave. And then somebody else would pull in and park there, and then they would leave, and then somebody else. It was just too much of a revolving door. I didn't feel comfortable how close they were coming to my passenger mirror, and I kept saying I need to move the truck. I need to move the truck because all it takes is, since this is a revolving door, is one of the inexperienced driver come in there, try to pull out, don't make his turn too early, and next thing I know, I got a messed up mirror. The next thing I got to know, I got a messed up hood. So I wound up moving my truck, creating my own spot again, just to be in somebody else's way that was trying to leave. And they come knocking on my door, and I was about ready to go off on him. I was like, come on now. I was like, I ain't moving this truck again. Turns out it was just another truck driver getting ready to leave. He needed me to back up, so he pulled out. And I backed into his spot. But yeah, I was about to let him have it, y'all. But anyway, so I left there around 8 this morning and went and delivered that load. And I got to the place I was delivering the load this morning. The lady in the guard shack was like, why are y'all coming in like this? I'm like, I was like, well, my appointment's for 10 o'clock. She's like, I don't know why y'all coming in like this. Like, we already got somebody in the door, we're unloading, and there's somebody behind that driver, and then now there was you. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I was supposed to be here at 10, it said 10, my Louis Simon says 10. So I'm going like, she says, hold on for a second. So I held on there for like 10 minutes, and she goes, well, your appointment was for 12. You're not the 10 o'clock appointment. You're the 12 o'clock appointment. I said, well, I don't know why they put on the loaded time. It was for 10. I was like, I wouldn't have been here right now. I would have came at 11 o'clock. So, yeah, I'm like, I don't know what to tell her. She getting on nasty, like being on nasty with me. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to tell you. I'm here. You can either do two things. You're gonna have me go in there and, check me in and have me wait to get unloaded, or you can turn me away and tell me I have to come back. One of the two things, So, yeah, that was that. That was this week has been a little bit interesting, just a little bit. So, I got my whole week booked. Again, I know my dispatcher don't like it when I do that, but I like knowing what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. That way it you like knowing what you're doing. I like to keep it in my control, So I got my whole week booked. I picked this load up. I'm going up to Michigan, Brownstown, Michigan. And then I'm driving down to Archibald, Ohio to pick up my next load. And that's a bullcrap load. That's just a load that I don't have to put fuel in to get done. And then I go pick up my Claiborne, Texas load that delivers, I believe, Monday of next week. So I got my whole week booked. I'm excited about that. The next following week is gonna be a little bit tricky because I got a doctor's appointment I have to go to on Monday. So I'm trying to figure out how to get home empty, not on a preloaded trailer, or what load should I book. I might just wait on that. I might just wait and just book a load to pick up later that afternoon after that appointment. It might not be the best paying load, but it gets me started off right. So I'm gonna do something. Either that, or I'm gonna have to wait to Tuesday to go book me a load to pick up on Tuesday. But we shall see. So moving on, what's the difference between a W-2 and a 1099? The difference between a W-2 and a 1099 is W-2. If I'm a company and I'm hiring people, if I hire them under W-2, I have no choice but to pay them for the work they do for me. I am now on the hook. I can't just not pay them. I gotta pay them. I don't care if the business is doing well. I don't care if the business is doing bad. It's broke. I gotta find a way to pay those employees. My company would be held accountable to take out the right amount of taxes and deductions and everything. I will be on the hook for that. So the difference when it comes to 1099, as a company, I'm taking all that liability off of me and I'm putting it on that person I'm hiring. Technically, that person is not actually one of my employees. He's an independent contractor. He is working for himself. He is doing a job and getting paid based off of what we agreed to pay him. Whether the company is doing good or the company is doing bad, if my company is doing bad and I don't got the money to pay him, but I got the money to pay my bills, I can tell him, look, hey man, it's a tough week. I'm gonna take a rain check this week. I don't got the money to pay you this week. There's nothing really you can do. There's stuff you can do. I'm not saying you can't, but it's gonna be really hard because as a 1099, you're acting on your own entity. You're saying you're your own. You're employed. You're self-employed. How you make your money is totally up to you. It's not on the next driver. It's on you. So it's not on me. I done took my liability away. Everything is your responsibility. You shouldn't be 1099 if you're not self-employed, if you're not owning something, if you don't own a company, if you don't own the truck, you should not be 1099. I don't like 1099 because let's say you get in an accident, right? And it's a really bad accident. That company who hires you as a 1099 can distance themselves easier from you and say, nope, he was not employed by me. He was driving one of my trucks, but no, he has his own company, his own LLC. They can't go after me. They're going to go after your LLC in that accident. See what I'm saying? They done took the liability off themselves and they put it back to you. They can distance themselves. So if you get in an accident, guess what? They're going, if a lawyer's going to sue somebody, they're going to sue you first and your LLC before they sue the actual company who hired you. Another thing, a bad thing about 1099 is they don't have to offer you benefits. Like if I was a W-2 and I'm a company, I have to offer you benefits, right? 1099 they don't have to. They don't have to pay an employee tax, like if versus W-2. What else is 1099 is you're responsible for your own tax deductions. You got to find out what's the percentage of taxes you should be taking out. And if you're not making, most likely you're not making enough to take out the taxes, right? So what usually winds up happening is at the end of the year, you wind up owing all this money in taxes because you're on a tap board. They're not taking out no taxes for you. You're saying, "Oh, you're taking responsibility for paying those taxes. They paid you the money. Now use your responsibility to take out the taxes, not them." So 9 times 10, you wind up making the same amount if you were W-2. It's just you're not having the taxes taken out. I don't like 1099. Say when I really branch out after owning this truck and I'm hiring a driver, all my employees, everybody I hire is gonna be W-2. I'm not doing no 1099 unless you're an independent contractor and you're doing a lease to purchase from me, but that ain't until years from now, so don't worry about that. But they're gonna be W-2 because I want that responsibility. Why? Because why would I want that responsibility? Because I want a legitimate company, and I don't want to see somebody working for me under a 1099 and they don't own nothing. They don't own the truck. They would never own the truck. They won't do anything with that truck. So that is the difference between the W-2 and the 1099. If somebody comes offering you with 1099, please be wary. Please just be wary. Don't just think, "Oh, I'll get 1099. I don't got no taxes taken out." And sorry, someone's catching my eye. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Don't do a 1099 if you don't have to. Do W-2. Have the employer take out those taxes. And I wouldn't suggest doing a 1099. Let's put it that way. I am against it. Like, people are against lease to purchase and naysayers. That's the only thing I'm going to say do not do unless, one, you are a tenant owning your own company. 2, the equipment you're going to be driving is something you're going to lease to purchase on, or you're leasing it, something that you own. 3, you're responsible for that truck payment. You're responsible for the fuel. At some point, you will own that truck, right? I wouldn't suggest. That's another thing when it comes to 1099 is like I said, I lost my train of thought, y'all, just for a second there. But it's just not a good win-win situation, really. If you knew what was going on in the background of why you're 1099, what that means for the person who hired you under 1099, and what that means for yourself. A lot of times you're going to come out the loser. Another thing I was going to say, this is what I was going to say. If you're 1099, you're never going to own that equipment. You're not making the truck payments. You're not paying for the fuel. You're not paying for any insurance on that truck. You're not paying for anything on that truck besides making money off of it because somebody hired you 1099. You don't have enough tax deductions. you don't have enough tax deductions to really put a dent in how much taxes you're going to owe at the end of the year. Like, all you're really doing is putting yourself in a higher tax bracket. The IRS is going to put you in a tax bracket, and they're not going to put you at the bottom of that tax bracket. They're going to put you at the very top of that tax bracket so they can get more in return. That if you're not going to spend enough money to have truck deductions, right? Tax deductions, I should say. Tax deductions. Like me, I got my truck payment. That's a tax deduction. Every truck payment is a tax deduction. The fuel tax deduction. Freaking that PM tax deduction. Anything I spend on this truck, tax deduction. Bottle pop, tax deduction. The stuff I get for the deck out the truck for Easter, tax deduction. The food I buy for the truck, tax deduction. I got all these tax deductions to claim. My cell phone payment, tax deduction. Freaking, what else? I got QuickBooks, tax deduction. I got all these other things that are tax deductions that you're not going to have as a 1099 employee to take advantage of. But you know who is taking advantage of that tax deduction? The person who hired you as a 1099. He is claiming all that on a tax deduction. The amount of money he paid you, tax deduction. Yeah, that's a tax deduction for him. You didn't know that. Yeah, now you know. Tax deduction. And all the maintenance, all the money you spend on parts, tax deduction. You ain't getting none of that. That's why you shouldn't be 1099. What the hell? Somebody hit the truck. I don't know what that was, y'all, but French fall or something? I don't know. Anyway, tax deductions. You don't get those as an employee. You get whatever you get from just like if you held a job. Here's another reason why you don't do 1099. If you're never gonna own a truck, if you're not paying on truck, your work history up until the point you left company side and went 1099 don't exist. It don't exist. So if you go trying to get a car, say you went 1099 a month ago, and you were company a month ago, guess what? Even though you're still doing the same career, you're still in the same career field, that work experience up until the point where you went 1099 stops. If you're trying to get a home loan, that work experience stops once you went from company to 1099. You are now a red flag to lend money to, because they don't have no way of showing legitimately what is your income. They can't verify your income all the way up to that point. So they don't want to lend to you because they're afraid that, look, you don't have no steady income and you're definitely not making that much money right now because you're just learning it and you're just self-employed. So, and you're just starting as a 1099. You don't know how much money you're going to make. You don't know how much money you're going to generate. Yeah, red flag. So that's another thing you guys need to look at when you come to 1099. Oh, everybody want to look at the money, but your work history. You no longer have any work history. Like, I don't care if I do this for 5 or 6 years as an independent contractor, and I go back company side, all those 5 years, even though I was still driving trucks, brother, y'all, ladies and gents, even though I was still driving trucks for those 5 years, up until that point, when I was company to independent contractor, they would have to go back, say, well, 5 years, we don't have no work history. Oh, you're an independent contractor. Now, that don't exist. That don't exist, right? So I'm just telling y'all from my perspective, that's the one thing I'm gonna be a naysayer on, is going 1099 and you're not owning the equipment, you're not paying for the fuel, you're not paying for the truck, you're just working for somebody. that does not fly with me. I know there's some strategies out there, the more you own, the more liability you have, and limited liability and stuff like that. Never own nothing but have stuff. But no, I am a naysayer when it comes to that. I would never say lease something and you're not going to own it. That's why I never, when I go to get a car, I don't ever lease a car. I finance a car, because that's money right there. Like this truck, soon as it's paid off, soon as I got the title, this truck is getting traded in. This truck right here, Myra, is getting traded. I love her. She's my rock, but she's getting traded in. She's getting traded in once she is paid off, and I'm gonna get me a new truck. And when that truck reaches 500,000 miles, that truck is getting traded in for a new truck. And those trucks that when I start when I get on my own, I'm never gonna lease a truck and never own the truck. Why would I do that? I'm throwing money away. Why would I lease a truck and never own it? Just so I can own the company. I have a company, start the company, get it rolling, lease the truck, don't ever own that truck, to turn it back in and always redo it. No, I ain't doing that. I'm seeing money. I'd be like, I can either park that truck out, I can lease to purchase that truck, I can sell that truck to a dealership as a trade-in to get me a new truck. I can do a lot of things with that truck after I own it, after I done paid it off. I can't, so, but, y'all just, that's the only thing you're gonna hear me say nay saying. Real quick, I'm gonna touch on this one thing. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. If you're asking yourself, should you do lease to purchase right now with the fuel prices the way that it is, I'm going to say yes. And here is why. Because if you want to wait till the good time to start a trucking company or do the lease to purchase to own your own truck, there's never going to be a good time. You're never going to find a good time where the fuel price is low and the freight's high. It's either freight's high, fuel prices are low, or the fuel prices are high and the freights are low. So you're never going to find a really good time to get started in a lease to purchase. Don't be scared. Here's what you do. You come into the lease to purchase and you learn how to survive with the high fuel prices. You learn how to survive. That way, when the good times get going, you're thriving. And when those good times is over, you already learned how to survive the first time when the prices were high, fuel prices was high. And now you know how to get through it. You know what you need to do to get through it. Don't be scared to do lease to purchase because the fuel prices are high. I'm doing it. I'm making money. Yeah, it's hitting my pockets a little bit. But you know what? As long as I come out ahead, this is not a KLM experience. It's a Thomas Z. Keller experience where you're coming out ahead every week. And that's all that's really important. That's really important. My company is not being in the red since I started with them. And I said my company because I'm Lee Staunton as Cenex under Cenex Logistics or Cenex Express. Or not Cenex Express, Cenex, if I can get it right. I'm just under that as Cenex, as I'm my own company. It's my LLC name. So it's been a great partnership with her, with Thomas Z. Keller. But don't be afraid to do lease to purchase these. I know there's a lot of people saying, no, don't you dare come out here. Wait until the prices go down. Don't do that. The prices will never go down, and you will still have that itch. Man, I wish I would have did it. But that's all I'm going to go and say about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far, hit the like, subscribe button. I appreciate you making this far, and I'll shoot probably another video. If y'all want me to, y'all have any comments or questions or opinions or topics you guys would love for me to talk about and share some knowledge on of what I learned over the years and what I've learned so far as an owner-op myself, please leave it in the comment box below. Send me an email, jbrand86j@outlook.com, and until the next one, keep the sunny side up, the rubber side down. I'm gonna get off here. I got some friends I need to chit chat with, and you guys take it easy. Bye.